On April 24th, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp became one of the country's first officials to begin easing coronavirus restrictions in his state. And now, over 1 month later, many residents in densely populated areas like Atlanta are still questioning their safety as the total number of cases in Georgia has now surpassed 43,000. Here to discuss the current situation in Atlanta is Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom. Mayor, thanks for being with us. And I know that you were extremely critical of the governor when he first eased those restrictions. How are you feeling now? How is your city holding up?
Well, thank you for having me, Amy. What I said then was that I hope that the governor was right and I was wrong, because my fear was that more people would die. And I would say right now we're somewhere in between, whereas we were seeing an increase of around 25 to 30% on over a 7-day period of people testing positive and people dying. We're somewhere around 12 to 15%. So we are not faring as badly as I thought that we would, but we certainly are not out of the woods yet. And I think that people have heard that Georgia is open for business. And so this weekend we saw people out and about and not always practicing social distancing in the way that we have encouraged them to do.
And you've announced a 5-phase reopening plan right now for Atlanta. Tell us how you hope that will work.
Well, we are closely following the CDC guidelines. And so we had a committee that was comprised of a cross-section of people, corporate leaders, people from the healthcare community, et cetera, small business leaders, to give us input on how we should phase in reopening as a city. So we are approaching phase 2 because we are seeing a 14-day decline in our numbers. So that takes us into phase 2, where we begin to ease restrictions, but still following all of the guidelines that we've seen come forth from the CDC, wearing masks when in public, limiting crowds to no more than 10, telecommuting where possible. And it's a 5-phase approach. And so we are just in phase 2 in the city of Atlanta. And I think in large part that's what you're seeing reflected in our numbers.
Speaking of the numbers, I'm curious what you think about this. Last week, the governor's office actually apologized after a Georgia Public Health Department chart wrongly reported that downward trend in COVID cases. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reporting it was at least the 3rd error in as many weeks. So how concerned are you about the data you're getting out of the state health department?
Well, it is concerning because the data is only as good as the data is good. I understand that mistakes happen, but when people are already apprehensive about going back to business as usual, this makes it that much more difficult for us to trust what we're getting from the state.
Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom, as always, thank you for your time and for your dedication to your city.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.